How's it going, everybody? In this video, what I'm going to walk you guys through is kind of a continuation of one of the things that I briefly touched on in one of the previous videos. One of the things that I use whenever I am playing around with labs inside of GNS3 is I try to get the routers to connect to a single switch. So what I'll end up doing, and I'll take an example here, I'll take 5 of these routers. And the reason I do 5, well, actually I'll do 6, but you may not actually need to use all 6, is when you're dealing with the GNS3 in this regard, this will allow you, depending on how you go through and deploy, one of the things that I plan on doing with Rikers Island, for those of you that are at home that don't have, maybe you don't have a full rack, maybe you don't have a dedicated server like I have put together to lab up with at home. My goal is to give you every tool you could possibly need via GNS3 just to run real basic implementations. 4 to 6 routers total. You're not going to need much more than that. Sometimes you only need 3. But the point being here is we're going to walk through how to get this situated. So 4 to 6 routers for all the CCNP routing and switching specific technologies that we're going to cover: OSPF, EIGRP, BGP, RIP, DMVPN, etc. All these technologies are going to be able to be demonstrated through 4 to 6 routers. The first thing you're going to want to do here is bring out a switch. You're going to, this switch right here, this is where the configuration is going to take place. What you have to do on the switch is you right click here and configure it. You click on the switch itself. You take all of these individual configurations here. You could change them over to .1q as you need to and change them. But overall, I'd rather just go ahead and say, you know what, just delete. It's easier to do that. Flip them over to .1q and click on add, and then click apply. Click OK. And then we're going to grab the connector button here, from R1, from fast Ethernet 0/0 to port 1 on the switch. And this is what we're going to do, is we're going to repeat the process over and over and over again. 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and finally 6. Now that I've got all this done, what you can do now is go ahead and fire these guys up. We're going to right click here on R1, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fire up again R2 just so I can show the relevancy here. I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys over. So we have R1 and we have R2 respectively. We're going to wait for these guys to boot up, and what the goal is to leverage the capability of using .1q subinterfaces. So when you download the GNS3 file for a particular for OSPF or EIGRP or etc., the topology that you see, which I'll show you here in just a moment for CCNP RNS, that topology is going to be all the different technologies wrapped into one, because I have the resources at my disposal to run a larger topology. You may not have that. So I'm going to say, you know what, don't worry about that. We're going to go ahead and pull in just what we need. In this case here, we could do 4 to 6 routers, and you can manipulate how you want. As you go through the different technologies, it'll be basically the same 6 routers and 1 switch. The IP addressing will change, but that's about it. You'll be able to go through and follow along at home and all the different bullet items and stuff like that. Or you can just do what I do, and you could take and download this file right here as blank and then copy and paste in the configurations. It's up to you really how you want to go about doing it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and drag this guy and this guy off the screen. I'm going to click on View and Show Hide Interface Details. I'm going to bring these guys back over. And I'm going to say on R1, I'm going to go to Global Config. On Interface Fast Ethernet 0/0, I'm going to say No Shut. Same thing on R2. This will allow me to leverage the .1q subinterface capability that I just set up on the switch. So going back to R1, I'm going to type in interface fast Ethernet 0/0.12. Encapsulation .1q is 12. the IP address between these two is going to be 10.1.2.1/24. Now, the only way that R1 and R2 will be able to communicate with each other is through the switch. So interface fast Ethernet, no shut. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0.12, encapsulation .1Q12, IP address of 10.1.2.2/24. So that's really it. Do show IP interface brief. As you can see, I have the IP address ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and do ping, and on this side I'm going to exit out and do a debug IP ICMP. So if I get a ping, I'm going to see it. Do ping 10.1.2.1. It's going to ARP, and then you should see, and the ICMP echoes come in. So that means R1 and R2 are talking to each other. And that's exactly what you want to see. So right then and there, this is the, this topology will be available for you on the YouTube site and on the YouTube channel and on underneath the GNS3 files. You can take your pick. You can either copy and paste the config files in as you so choose, or you can just download the OSPF GNS3 file, the EIGRP GNS3 file, the RIP GNS3 file, the BGP GNS3 file. BGP, if you're so inclined, you could totally do a MPLS L3 VPN with 6 routers. You can make it work. It'll be very small, but it can work. And if you are interested, you could even scale this out to add in a couple of serial links if you wanted to do so, and do some frame relay if you wanted to. That'll be a different video. I will actually show you how to set up frame relay on an iOS router on the back end. And that will allow you to watch this video, and then I will map that into the layer 2 page on my site, so you guys can watch that. If you've purchased the associate and professional or the complete access streaming content, you'll be able to watch the videos as they come out when I start releasing them. But until that time, this the YouTube videos that you'll be able to watch are going to be able to emulate this. So beyond that, that is what I have for you guys today. This is just the base configuration. We'll be taking a look at GNS3. And for those of you that are interested, this is the topology that I will be working off of for all of, whoops, that was for CCNA. Go ahead and do not save that. You go ahead and pull up this guy right here, and this is the topology you'll see when you if you're following along in any of the videos. This is what you'll see. What I will be doing is R20 will be doubling as a frame relay switch, and I have a bunch of these routers are connected to R20, and you'll see how that's configured, and that'll be the next video. We'll go ahead and configure frame relay and get that all situated. The Delta mappings are up here, and then we will get all the routers ready to go in the next video. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for your time and your patience, and we'll catch you in the next video.